Taiwan is extremely important for many aspects. It's very interesting in itself that it's an island. It's submitted, as you all know, by under a lot of transformation, which is due to urbanization, technical development. It's also the land of typhoons, of earthquakes. It's also, people don't always know that, the most eroded land on Earth. That is where the powers of the erosion is the stronger. And it's a scale model for the planet Earth for me. So what happens on the planet Earth, if you take Taiwan, it's a scale model. And then we take the exhibition in Taiwan, in Taipei, as a scale model of a Taiwan scale model, which is the scale model of the Earth. You and I don't live on the same planet is actually now completely true. Before, you and I don't live on the same planet just meant you disagree, we don't have the same religion, you don't have the same politics, I'm from the left, you are from the right. But now, you and I don't have the same planet. It means it's a different planet. You live somewhere, and on your planet there is no climate change, there is no threatening of biodiversity and so on and so forth. And on my planet, the biodiversity is crashing, and there is a climate change which is enormously important. So I push the notion of planet and different planet to mean exactly that. So is it possible in the scale model of a show to visualize the fact that you and I, the different visitors, don't live on the same planet, and that they might have to choose which planet they associate well with.
We started this biennial with the work of Fernando Palma, and all of those cardboard figures are actually drawn from the Nahua iconography, which is a group part of Mexico. Therefore, for us, it was very interesting to start the biennial with a kind of strange encounter with those figures, which don't have such a clear status. Once you arrive within Planet Globalization, we have invited artists who were all depicting one different aspect of the kind of attraction that this planet could have. And a very strong example for this is the work by Franck Lebovici and Julien Serroussi. Two of them focused on an attack which happened in the République du Congo, Démocratique du Congo, in a small village called Bogoro. And they worked with court practitioners, actual court practitioners, on experimenting different kind of methodologies in order to work with the evidences. What Julien Serroussi, who was himself a legal analyst in this court, and Franck Lebovici, who is an artist and a poet, did, is that they said, look, let's try to experiment other ways of displaying those evidences. Let's try to put them as a sort of mood board, for example, like an artist or a designer would organize a studio, and let's see if there's not some kind of new connections which occur. And in the biennial, we will restage that kind of methodological room, this room which is made to experiment different kinds of display of evidences. And the visitors, thanks to the help of a mediator, can put themselves in the shoes of one of these legal practitioners. We commissioned an artist called Qin Zhengde. They worked on the iconography of defense, the kind of visual culture of defending oneself within the context of the Cold War in Taiwan. And so they explore that through various materials that you can see within the museum. The artist Femke Hergraven is very interested by the imaginary of that panic room. And in it, she stages a sort of discussion between three extinct species, which are avatars of weird sort, which are discussing about the absence of the owner of the space, the absence of the last man, and they feel pretty lonely. They're on a lonely planet. We're really happy that we were able to launch an important commission to the artist Arui Kaumakan, who creates like some sort of sculptures with wools and other materials using lemikalik, which is a Paiwan technique which consists in weaving into concentric circle. There was a very violent typhoon in Taiwan, which displaced her and all of the members of her village. And therefore, how do you relocate once you've been moved out by kind of such a strong climatic disruption? Well, that's the question which is at the core of her work, where she tries to recreate through the weaving a form of connection between herself and all of the people from her village that she invites to work.
And inside the show, we want to convene the different specialists who are interested in scientific controversies, question about pollution, question about development, the specialists coming from geology, the specialists coming from chemistry, and of course the artists who have been so important in the Taiwan cinema, in the Taiwan artistic sphere, in order to understand in what way Taiwan is impacted by the whole ecological mutation. And since the Biennale is an international Biennale, it's very important that we help people from abroad see the originality of the way Taiwan handled the ecological crisis. And this cannot be done except by mobilizing artists, scientists, and curators, and of course the magnificent administration of a Taipei Biennale.